Hey everybody, in my last video we discussed different kinds of bushcraft knives. We discussed, full tangs. We discussed what to look for when you are actually going to be purchasing and using a knife out there in the field for survival and just for being out and about in nature. Today I want to talk a little bit about knife safety and a safe grip. Once you've chosen the knife that suits you, it's essential that you learn how to handle it safely. The last thing you want in the wilderness is to injure yourself or anyone else through carelessness. So, one thing that I want to stress enough about, and I've done a lot of research on, is the triangle of death. The triangle of death is the space between your upper legs, including the groin and both femoral arteries. Avoid this area with an exposed blade at all costs. Never cut into this area or hold objects to be cut or carved in a manner that could cause the blade to enter it. So basically, what we're doing there is you never want to have your blade faced down towards your legs, especially when you're out there in the woods alone and you don't have anybody else out there who could administer emergency first aid. You're going to put yourself in a really dangerous situation, and it's going to cause your trip to end very quickly. If you're not alone in your excursion into the wild, anytime you're prepared to use your belt knife, you'll need to elevate your blood circle. So basically your blood circle is a 360 degrees around you and at arm's length, where someone could come in contact with a blade being pushed away from the material being cut. So pretty much you want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to stay alert, you want to stay alive, and you want those around you to have a good time too. You basically want to make sure during this that you are aware of whoever you are out there with is not near you while you are processing firewood or anything like that. Some important safety tips. Safe handling practices with your knife in the field are of the utmost importance. For this reason, you should always place your belt knife immediately back in its sheath. I like this sheath personally because it locks back into place, and if it gets water in it, it drains out the bottom. Never place it on the ground or on another piece of gear. Always grip your knife as if making a fist. This will not only give you the leverage and control, but it'll eliminate any chances of the blade coming in contact with your finger. You should wear leather gloves if you have them available. I suggest you carry some to have on hand, and it'll make it more comfortable if you did. A sharp knife is a double-edged sword, capable of the finest carving tasks, but it's also capable of inflicting deep wounds and leaving permanent damage. Whenever you're going out to process firewood, or you're making feather sticks, or anything else like that, you're going to want to understand that this is one of your most important tools, and it needs to be treated with respect. It needs to be handled properly, because if it's not handled properly, it can turn into a real nightmare for a trip. And let's face it, you don't want to be a day or two out and not have any better first aid than what you're carrying on you. It's really important to do your research and learn how to properly process firewood. What I'll be doing next, for my next video, we'll talk about battening. It's a method of cutting and splitting wood, and you use another stick and your belt knife to properly process it. But we'll talk about that at a later time. I hope everybody's staying warm out there and stay safe and continue to enjoy the great outdoors.